Kính thưa quý vị, cô Đồng Hương, để tiếp nối trong cái chương trình mà chúng tôi cũng đã chia sẻ cùng tất cả quý vị, có lẽ là giờ phút này chúng ta cũng đã mong đợi để mà biết được thêm về cái tình hình gia đình của ông Thompson và gia đình chị Dell Trần đã xảy ra như thế nào sau khi mà cái cuộc gặp gỡ lần đầu tiên trong 51 năm ở tại phi trường quốc tế Tân Sơn Nhất. Gia đình cũng có một cái thời gian đi về Phan Thiết, đi về quê của cô Dell Trần. Trước hết chúng tôi xin được giới thiệu lại một lần nữa ông Jack Thompson và cô Margie là con gái và cô Amber là con dâu, cùng với lại ông Jack Thompson về đây. Thì không biết là giờ phút này trong cái tâm trạng của ông Thompson còn có vài ngày nữa là ông phải rời Việt Nam để đi về lại Mỹ rồi. Mr. Jack Thompson, 51 years later you return. What's your thought at this time now? You've been here for 4 or 5 days. What is your thought?
Glad I made it. There's only one reason I'm here. It's my daughter. I love Vietnam. It's beautiful, but I'm here because of this beauty. And I'm regretting having to leave on Saturday already. Don't want to do it. I want her to go with me. And the family has touched my heart. I want my family together. My family, American and Vietnam, it's one family. We need to be together somehow. So I'm just glad I made the trip. I'm glad my daughter, I wanted to, and she mentioned it. And together we made it happen. And I was so fortunate to have my daughter-in-law come along. She's been a great help to me. They've been taking care of me, probably a little more than they should. And they've learned some lessons from my daughter, Dell, that they need to carry back to America with them, because she's been treating me like a king. My husband, Duke, is just overwhelmed me with this kindness and generosity.
I am sure that we all have our tears, but it's a joyful tears. It's a happy tears. The tear that many people wish that they can exchange. I am specifically want to mention those admiration for the unfortunate that cannot be matched and recognized like you have. I thank you for your effort and for your willing and Margie with your work. I wonder if you can share that to the audience, to people, how difficult it is and how hard it is, and or it's just something simple step, or how was it?
Yeah. Right. When we met Dell, when we finally found her through DNA, we thought it would be really easy to bring her and her family to the United States, but it has been so difficult. The process is long. It is really hard. It's been probably about 8-9 months now. No, maybe even longer. And the process, even though it's moving forward, there are so many barriers. It's unbelievable.
Going back from the beginning, when you start going to the ancestry tree, would you ever think that this would happen?
Never.
Is it just a curiosity that you wanted to get your ancestry together on this wonderful tree that we call the ancestry tree?
Right. I was just looking at, my ethnicity. We have a diverse ethnic background, and I was just looking at our ethnicity, and then it has a indicator to show you matches. People
Really?
Your biological matches with.
Even just halfway of the world?
Yes. And the closest match on the whole Ancestry.com at the time was Dell, who lived way across the world in Vietnam.
Some people may have some angry or maybe doubt about what happened that. Why didn't you tell me that?
No, I think we've learned enough lessons in this life now to just show forgiveness, know that things happen. We don't always know the details, but we've also experienced great loss, with the loss of one of our other sisters. So I think it changes your perspective on things. It makes you welcome Dell and her family freely.
We have the history of loving and sharing and forgiveness, the whole society that we are living in America, because we are so diverse, we are so multicultural. 47 years ago, Vietnamese are unheard of beside people from your dad's age thinking about the conflicts of Vietnam, and there's nothing else there. But now here, your generation now changing that. Many Americans still do not accept what have happened 50 years ago. You know, my lifetime trying to heal that wound, and it's very hard to share that to a mainstream American. If someone come up and say, Margie, can you be a coach? Because I think my parents, my dad went there, I think something that I need to know. What would you say to that person that come up to you now?
I would say step one, take a DNA test. Start there. You know, see if you find a sibling out there, a sibling who has been waiting and yearning and longing for a biological family. Dell has a beautiful family of her own.
Yeah, uh-huh.
But she also has a biological family.
Yeah.
Biological family from America that she's entitled to know. And she's entitled to have our love too.
For me, as a Vietnamese American, now after this trip and after this experience, I want to do the same. To find out where other half of my Vietnamese ancestry here in Vietnam, just from this experience. Over 3 million Americans, armed force and civilian, who served in Vietnam.
I know.
From 1960 to the end of 75. 73 we left, but 75 is actually the end of it. So there's a lot.
On my birthday,
You know?
actually.
April 30th?
That's right.
Yeah. And now you have, you know, on your variant day,
I was here.
you were here.
That's right.
Whoever would have thought that you have the better gift than anything
I
else
know.
from all your Vietnam vet out there. You know?
Best Veterans Day yet.
You mentioned the difficulty of bringing everybody home and so much harder than you have thought. What is it that difficult? What holding back?
I think the process for them to apply through the consulate to get their status approved to come to the United States. It's long. It seems to be challenging. I tried to make some calls thinking it would be easy. It's not very easy. It just takes a lot longer than we think. And then even if they are approved, it's only certain family members that would be approved. I'm a mother and I'm a grandmother. I could not imagine leaving my adult children and my grandchildren behind.
Yeah.
And maybe some point they can come, but there's no guarantee. So yesterday we said goodbye to one of the first oldest children. We still get to say goodbye to everybody at Saturday at the airport, but one child will not be able to be there to say goodbye to us. So we literally said goodbye to him yesterday. And it was heartbreaking because you don't know if you're ever going to see him again. And I didn't expect to have such a great relationship with her whole family this quick.
That short days, you know.
Right. So it was heartbreaking for him, and it was heartbreaking for all of us.
People think because there's Messenger, Facebook, it may make it a little easier, but you can't touch them. You can't feel them. It's just not the same as being there when you talk to them on Messenger. I talked to Dell. Well, we didn't talk much. We stared at one another a lot. But I couldn't wait to hold her.
Yeah.
I like to share this a few words in Vietnamese for our Vietnamese audience as well, so that they can have the mutual understanding of what is going on here. Kính thưa quý vị, tôi xin phép được chia sẻ một tí xíu. Thứ nhất là để cho gia đình nghe được và hiểu được. Thật sự ra cái chương trình này thì cũng muốn gửi đến cho những người cựu quân nhân Hoa Kỳ để họ thấy và họ biết, cũng như là những người gia đình của những người cựu quân nhân Hoa Kỳ. Từ nãy giờ nói chuyện với ông Jack Thompson cũng như là cô con gái và cô con dâu thì chưa có nói, nhưng mà riêng ông Jack Thompson thì khi mà biết cái tin là ông có một người con gái ở bên này trở lại Việt Nam sau 51 năm, đối với ông nó là một cái chuyện đã là kỳ diệu rồi. Nhưng cái nôn nấu mà để mà về đây để gặp, để mà được ngồi nắm tay người con gái của mình, thì ông nói rằng Việt Nam, tôi yêu Việt Nam Nhưng tôi muốn cho con tôi bên phân nửa người Việt Nam, phân nửa người Mỹ này đoàn tụ thành một đại gia đình. Tôi không muốn cho tất cả những người phần tử nào trong gia đình của tôi phải chia ly một thời gian nào nữa hết. Trong cái gián đoạn này nó cũng khó khăn, thưa quý vị. Chúng ta cũng đều biết là cái luật lệ của Hoa Kỳ nó rất là khó khăn để mà bảo lãnh hoặc là đưa những người từ ở Việt Nam đi qua Hoa Kỳ. Tuy rằng là đây là cái người con mà đã test DNA xong, hoàn toàn đã đối chiếu là con của ông Thompson, nhưng phải qua cái thủ tục. Và cái khổ ở đây cô Margie cũng đã chia sẻ, đó là cái khổ đó là người đi người ở. Không phải chỉ riêng ổng sẽ vài ngày nữa rời Việt Nam đi về lại Ohio, nhưng mà thành viên của gia đình của cô Dell, người đi người ở. Và cái ở không biết là bao giờ cái thủ tục thứ hai, thứ ba đó có thể hoàn tất để đưa tất cả những người trong gia đình của cô Dell, là mấy người con trai, con gái đã trưởng thành, để đoàn tụ đi qua bên đó. Nó cũng mất một thời gian. Chúng ta nhìn trong cái cảnh ở đây đó, riêng ông Jack Thompson thì cũng tuổi ngoài 70 và cũng sức khỏe cũng không cho phép nhiều. Cô Margie thì cô nói là cô cũng có con, cũng có cháu rồi, thì nên cô cũng thông cảm, cũng hiểu là cái cuộc chia ly nào cũng phải rơi nước mắt. Những cái nước mắt mà chúng tôi chia sẻ là nước mắt vui và cũng có nước mắt buồn. Nước mắt hạnh phúc là đã được cái sự đoàn tụ gặp gỡ. Trong những cái hình ảnh này, hai cha con không muốn rời cái cuộc mà nắm tay mà chia sẻ như thế này, bởi vì đúng là cái hệ thống xã hội ngày hôm nay có thể cho chúng ta nói chuyện gặp mặt, nhưng mà không bằng người thật, việc thật nắm tay nhau như thế này. Before you left, I know that you found out that Dell had matched DNA and his daughter before you left, and now you have met her. Anything that different than your thought before that and now?
No, as soon as I found out I had a daughter here, I loved her. And I guess since I've met her and the rest of the family, I love her even more. As much as any of my children.
We don't need to say much, but many of our brothers, parents in the U.S. maybe wonder the same way. What would you say to our brothers out there?
They need to search. They need to search. They need to do what they can. If there's a inkling of a thought that they may have a child here, they need to do the search. I had no clue. I never crossed my mind that I had a child here. Thanks to my daughter, she found her for me.
Yeah.
And she had been searching for so long.
Yeah.
We could have had this years ago. You
Right.
only knew. She's toiled so hard.